Hey guys, hope you're all doing good. In this video, we are going to be modeling the final part, which is the crank. So let's get started with a new part and click on OK. Next, we are going to make sure that our unit systems are correct, MMGS, and looks like that's set up correctly. Then we are going to be selecting our front plane to start the sketch. Next, we are going to get started with a 3-point arc. So let's click here, here, and here. So one is above the origin and the other one is going to be below the origin. So let's select the center of the lower arc and the origin and click on make vertical. We are going to do the same thing for the upper arc as well. So next we are going to be drawing two lines, one from here to here and the other line is going to be from here to here. So next we are going to select this point and this point and hit make horizontal, and we're going to do the same thing for the bottom 2 points as well, and then let's click OK. So now we are ready to set the dimensions. Use the shortcut key S, click on smart dimensions, select the first circle, select the center of the first arc and select the center, and then type in a value of 45 millimeters. Then we are going to set up the total horizontal distance for the first arc as 80 millimeters, and then the length for this particular line is going to be 120 millimeters. Then we are going to select both these 2 points and type in a value of 60 millimeters. Finally, we have to give the radius for the upper and lower arcs. So for the upper arc, we are going to provide a radius of 50 millimeters, and for the lower arc, we are going to type in a value of 65 millimeters for the radius. So now you can see that the sketch is fully defined. So we can exit the sketch. Now we are ready to extrude this particular sketch. So let's select this guy and type in a value of 20 millimeters and then click OK. So now we are going to select this particular face and start a new sketch. Use Ctrl+8 shortcut to see it correctly. And we are going to start by creating a circle. So this is where the connecting rod is going to be mounted. Click on yes, use the circle tool and click and drag it out. Now we are ready to provide the dimension. So let's first select the center and center of the circle and type in a value of 50 millimeters. And for the circle, let's provide a diameter of 43.75 millimeters. Then let's apply a vertical constraints for the line coming between the center of the circle and the origin. Now let's exit the sketch and we are ready to extrude this particular circle and type in a value of 16 millimeters, and we can click on OK. Now on the back side, we are going to create a new sketch and we are going to hit Ctrl+8 to start creating the sketch. We are going to get started again with the circle tool, and then let's click the origin and then just drag it out, and let's assign the diameter of the circle to be 35 millimeters, and let's click OK, and then we can exit the sketch, and then you can use extruded boss base and type in a value of 20 millimeters. Let's click on OK. So next we are going to be applying fillets to the 4 corners of our crank. Right now the fillet can be done through the sketch or also on the 3D part. So let me show you how to do it via the sketch. So let's click on edit sketch and use Ctrl+8 to view it correctly, and then use the fillet tool, right? And we are just going to select this corner, this one, and also the bottom 2 corners, and type in a value of 25 millimeters for the fillet radius and then hit OK. Now we can exit the sketch. So now we are going to select the right plane to create a new sketch that will help us cut the crank in a desired way. So we are going to be using a 3-point arc for doing this cut. So let's select this as our first point. So let's select this as the first point, the second point, and the third point somewhere here. Hit escape, and now it's time to assign dimensions for this. So let's select this guy and this guy, and let's type in a value of 4.87 millimeters, and we're going to provide a vertical dimension of 35 millimeters. and then for the radius we are going to type in a value of 50 millimeters. Click on OK, and we are going to do the same thing in the bottom of the crank as well. So let's go to 3-point arc one more time. Click here, and let's click here and then here. So let's now assign the dimension. Let's select this corner point and this point and type in a value of 5.12 millimeters. Now let's select this point and apply a vertical distance of 50 millimeters. Finally, we are ready to assign the radius value for the second arc, which is going to be 120 millimeters. Click on exit sketch, and then we are going to be doing an extruded cut operation. Make sure that you select flip side to cut, and instead of using the blind all option, we are going to be using through all both. So this way the cut is complete on both the sides. And then click on OK. So looks like the sketch contains more than one open contour, so we need to make sure that we edit the sketch. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to be using the thin feature option here, and then type in a value of 20 millimeters, and then reverse this particular direction and then click OK to see if this happens, to see if this works. Looks like I did something wrong. So maybe what I'm going to do is we're going to select this again, and we're just going to flip it. But it looks like if you flip it, one side works, but the other side it's not going to cut it incorrectly. So I think we need to re-examine our sketch. Let's go back to sketch edit, and let's delete this guy and exit, and then maybe try doing the extrude cut only with the first sketch. Alright, so let's make sure that we select through all both, and let's click on OK. Alright, so that is complete. So now what we are going to do is we are going to just recreate the sketch in the right plane and hit Ctrl 8 to view it correctly. And let's quickly recreate the 3-point arc as we did before. So we'll select maybe this point first, this point, and then this point. And as we did before, we are going to apply in the dimensions. So sometimes you have to do these type of things, right? The idea is maybe sometimes the order of operations doesn't work out correctly, so make sure that you go by creating the feature one by one if things don't work the way you want them to. So let's apply a vertical distance of 50 millimeters and then type in a radius of 120 millimeters for the arc, and let's exit the sketch and try using the extruded cut operation one more time. We need to make sure that we select through all both, and then let's just flip that side in which material needs to be removed, and then let's click OK, and there you go. So now this is what I wanted to achieve before, but for some reason we had to go through this one by one. Now this is just one side of the crank. To create the other side of the crank, we can just mirror this. So let's use the mirror tool, and we are going to be selecting this circular face about which the mirror operation is going to be created. And then for bodies to mirror, what we are going to do is we are going to select this entire body that we have created so far, and you can see that the preview appears, and make sure that you select full preview and then click on OK. There you go. So that's how we create the crank. Go ahead and save this. With this we have completed all of our parts, and in the next video we will be assembling them. Thank you so much. Bye.